Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I am your host, God of Heroics, and today I want to talk to you guys about where I have been for the past few days. Looking at my channel, you can see that my last upload was 5 days ago, and considering that I have a bunch of projects that I'm ready to do and projects that I'm ready to upload, it comes into question where I've been and why I haven't been posting at all. I haven't been posting on my YouTube. I haven't posted in the community tab or anything. I haven't even made a short or posted on TikTok for those of you that look at my TikTok. So I'm going to talk about where I've been. So for 2 of those days, the first 2 days after I posted my previous video about Dragon Ball Diamonds DLC, I was already basically getting prepared to go to a convention. Now, I know I didn't talk about it before, and I honestly didn't really have plans to talk about it too much, but considering things that happened at the con, I do really want to discuss this because, oh my God, was this convention fun. So, let's get started just talking about what happened. So, for those 2 days, after my video was posted, I was preparing, getting, everything packed up. Me and my lady were figuring out, what we were going to wear, coordinating our costumes. Believe it or not, we actually did wait kind of late to coordinate that stuff. But for the most part, we already had like the individual parts for our costumes. It was just small stuff here and there that we could get off of like Amazon with 1 or 2 days shipping, just to make sure that we had even the smallest details together for our cosplays. And on top of that, we were also looking at the guide to see what was happening as far as like the panels, what sponsors were going to be there, what different kinds of merch, and what celebrities or what big names in the game would be available to view and buy from while you were there. So we literally planned out our entire con experience for the most part. Well, we planned out a decent portion of it, kind of like a small little outline of what it was going to look like, but not every small detail. So at the convention, day 1, her and I actually ended up getting a ride from one of my coworkers and his friend because they were also going. And when I found out, I was like, hey, it'd be kind of cool for, if we all went together. It's like an hour and a half away through public transit. There's may as well, like ride together, which we did for the first day, not the following 2 days. So we rode with them, got to the convention, signed up. Well, not signed up because we had already gotten our tickets, but we, got in. And once we got in, it was time to start exploring. So there was an event that I had already pre-registered for and gotten accepted for my pre-registration. And that was happening in a few hours. So we decided to get the lay of the land first, walk around, see what we could see. Normally, I don't buy anything day 1. So it was mostly just seeing what's around, what we would like, what we would buy, doing a little bit of budgeting, and then going our separate ways to do our individual stuff. And after doing our individual stuff, we come back together to, eat and to hang out for the rest of the day. So at around 12, I think it was from 12 to 4, this thing that I had signed up for, pre-registered for, the voice acting competition hosted by the Arizona Voice Acting Guild, AVAG. They were there and I had pre-registered for them to take part in the competition. So what we did, obviously the process was to audition, then either get rejected or casted. And if you were casted, then you would meet up with your partner for your scene, partner or partners, I apologize, for your scene. And after you guys meet up, you can practice, run your lines. Then you set a time to meet up with your voice acting coach. And after the coaching, then you would come back at some point for out processing, which is basically like a little mini recording session where you can practice your lines a little bit more, get the pacing, get the timing down, get the lip syncing perfect and everything, get some critiques here and there, and little tips on how to fix what may or may not be working with your performance. And then you were basically ready for the competition. You could meet up with your partner to do some more practice. You could schedule more time with your voice coach if needed. But for the most part, that is the primary gist of the situation for day 1, at least day 1 for me and my partner, because there were still people that were auditioning, doing walk-ins and pre-registrations on day 2. So we kind of got the pretty nice cut of this, where we ended up getting to enjoy day 2 without having to, go back for the competition. So day 2, pretty cool. I'm not going to talk about where I got casted or what I was doing until I talk about day 3. So day 2, me and my lady had the whole day basically just to ourselves. So we literally went around and did pretty much everything. We did the Netflix experience, which had a Squid Game-esque obstacle course. I say Squid Game-esque mostly because of the colors and stuff, but it really wasn't Squid Game-esque. It was themed with Squid Game, but it also had this section where they were showing off scenes for the next season of Love, Death, and Robots. So that was pretty cool. We got to experience that. They had this giant foam pit that you would jump into at the end and take this picture. This, again, themed with Squid Game. Really loved it. It was freaking awesome. I also bought Red Queen, which is Nero's sword from Devil May Cry 5. So, yeah, there's a Nero cosplay coming, which is actually something I was already planning to do at one point anyway. But this is just step one into getting into it. I got this sword like dirt cheap. Like, if you look at it like on Amazon or something, you can get a foam version for like $60. I got this one for $35. So I'm really excited for that. What I actually wanted was Jin Woo's daggers, but I already have them in my cart and they're cheaper than I was finding them at the vendors. So it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and just get those on my own time. Also, it was more my thing, but my lady came with me. We waited in a line for 4.5 hours so that I could get a poster and have it fucking signed by Alex Lee himself, one of my favorite voice actors. In fact, the voice actor that inspired me to even go into voice work at all. I mean, obviously, I'm not officially in voice work, but you know what I mean. So, what happened was when we got up there was obviously an assistant there taking payments, and they were also asking, like, what do you want written on the thing that you're getting signed? And she asked, what's your name? I told her, oh, I'm Alex. And then my lady actually suggested that I use my moniker God of Heroics instead, that would be a little cooler to have Alex Lee sign onto it. So I ended up getting a poster of Lighter from Zenless Zone Zero, who was actually my favorite character in the entire game. And then I was going to get a poster of Sung Jinwoo. To be honest, there were like 3 really good ones that I wanted. But Lighter, the poster just looked way cooler in my opinion, which is strange to say since I like Jinwoo so much. But Lighter had way cooler posters. Or a way cooler poster. It's literally just one. It's this one. And I got the bigger version, the $50 one instead of the $40 one, because it has it's kind of shiny. It's very reflective and it looks really good with the artwork. So I decided to get that. So anyway, she crossed out my name, wrote God of Heroics on the little sticky note. And when I got up there with Alex, we had a cool conversation about, just everything in voice acting. We talked about video games as well and some of his roles, how I find it hilarious that a lot of the roles he plays in shows or games, I always get drawn to it. Like my main in Street Fighter 6 is Luke, even though I really didn't know who Alex Lee was at that time. Jin Woo is one of my favorite characters in manhwa, and I didn't know that Alex Lee was going to be voicing him until I saw the first episode. Lighter, my favorite character in Zenless, like I said, the second he popped up on the scene, I'm like, oh, this is the coolest character in the game. And then he opened his mouth and I'm like, damn, it's Alex Lee again. That's crazy. But anyway, we talked about a lot. A little discouragement, but also some encouragement as far as how voice acting works and whether it's easy or not to break into. It's more kind of like a luck of the draw in the sense, but he did say to keep working at it if that's something that I'm really passionate about. Even if he said, even if you got to sacrifice for it, then sacrifice for it. And to be honest, that's how a lot of things work in the world. It's like, if you really want to make it work, if this is your passion, you might just have to lose some stuff, or you might have to sacrifice, some opportunities here and there to pursue this as what you really want to do. So, talking about pursuing things that I want to do, day 3 was when the voice acting competition actually happened. So I went in a little bit early because they had people coming in early before the convention opened. I went in, met up with my partner, talked a little bit. We talked about, what we're going to do for our scene and any last minute additions to some of the stuff, maybe a little bit of ad libs here and there. So we got in, they, set the whole thing up, who's going in what order and yada, yada, yada. And when my scene came, there were a lot of talented people there, by the way. I'm not even going to joke. There were a lot of talented people. I would love to collab with some of these people on more scenes, just like personal projects and stuff. So I will be hitting up some of them when I can and see if that's something that they're open to. So when we got there, a lot of talented people, met some cool people, got, exchanged information, contact information, all that stuff. My scene with my partner is in Devil May Cry, the new anime for Netflix, on episode 2, when Dante and Lady have their conversation regarding Dante's mom's necklace. We did that scene, and we did this thing where we had plushies that were given to us. And if you really liked somebody's scene, or you liked their voice and the way they did it and what they brought to the table, people would get up and give you those plushies. So me and my partner ended up getting, I believe, 6 plushies in total, 3 for her, 3 for myself. We got our critiques, and actually it wasn't even really critiques, it was mostly the judges kind of just praising us for how good our work was, and how we adapted the characters and brought our own flair to it and whatnot, and telling us pretty much that all the coaching that we did was great, and that everybody kind of got the that you belong here, like you were handpicked kind of spiel. Another thing they did that I thought was kind of cool was if you had auditioned as a walk-in and you did not get the role, they actually did a raffle for some scenes that didn't have enough people. And those people that got picked by the raffle were able to come up and voice a character in a scene that did not have somebody assigned to them. I thought that was really cool. It gave some opportunities even to people that may have felt discouraged that they couldn't have actually, been in the competition officially. And some of those people did get awards for like best voice for beginners. Also, as far as awards go, I didn't see this coming. They had different categories like funniest, best scream, which went to the person who voiced Yamato in the Kaido versus Yamato scene, when she tells Kaido, like, oh, I don't have to defeat you, I just have to hold you off until Luffy gets here. When they clashed, they screamed. Oh my god, her voice pierced through like everything. It was so good. I wish I just had the scene on deck to show you guys, but it was so good. Anyway, wow, yeah, there was tons of stuff being given out. They had, like I said, best chemistry, which I thought me and my partner were going to win, because our judges were convinced that we knew each other for years, even though we quite literally met 2 days before the competition. But that's okay, because the group that did go also had really good chemistry, very similar as well. But what I can say is that the award that I got, which I did not expect to get, they gave me best voice role for my portrayal of Dante. And I won second place out of the entire tournament. Like, it wasn't like an award for like, who portrayed their character, but like, I genuinely mean, like, since it's a competition, there's like first place, second place, third place. I won second place in my division, like, just straight up for my portrayal of Dante. It was apparently that good. And my role wasn't even one that they like talked about a lot. Like, they didn't have to go back and forth. They said for third place they had like 6 different contestants that they wrote full page notes on, like, how to get. For second place for me, they were like, oh no, he just gets it. And I believe first place was again the person who voiced Yamato. I think that was the case. If you were at Level Up Expo and you went to this competition, please like correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was the Yamato voice actor, but I swear I could be wrong. It might have been somebody else. But anyway, it was such a really fun experience. Not even just the voice acting competition, but the experience at Level Up Expo was very, very fun. Like, I recommend going to this expo if you're in the Las Vegas area, or you can make it to Las Vegas. It was really fun. I loved it. A lot of the cosplays were like really on point. I loved it. I got to take pictures with several people. I cosplayed Okaru in his turbo form on the third day, and somebody even did this hilarious gig where they were cosplaying Turbo Granny and took one of my balls. If you know, you know. It sounds weird to people that didn't watch Don to Don, but it's weird even to people that watch Don to Don, so don't worry about it. But aside from that, it was a great experience. I loved it. I have tons of photos. I'm still posting stuff on my Instagram. I'm posting videos from the wrestling event where Anakin Skywalker and Tina literally showed up to a wrestling event and kind of bodied a lot of wrestlers. It was hilarious. It was very funny. I loved it. But yeah, that's pretty much how it was for me. Most of my experience was for the voice acting competition, but I did have a lot of experience, which was about a day and a half spending it with my girlfriend. So half the time was the voice acting stuff, half time was with her. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I recommend it to everybody. And because I am back from the con, it is time to get back to recording my normal content. So I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.